Now I'm gonna just go into how Bproud kind of started and where this whole thing kind of formed from. I remember that my sophomore year in college, this was when the pandemic like really hit. I was literally just at home, remember just going through like school, and I just found myself like having a lot of free time. And then I realized that Josephine was also going to PSU, and he was also majoring in marketing, which is what I'm majoring in. I was always always wanted to start something of my own. Like I was always a big entrepreneur, and I didn't realize that Josephine was too. So I just remember he was always just seeing all the creative stuff that he was doing. Like he was always drawing, doing like a bunch of paintings, and he was just always doing out there. So I remember I just texted him. I was like, hey, let's start something, bro. Let's start a business. And he just jumped on board. He was like, yeah, I'm down. Let's do something. Next day, we literally got on a call, and we literally just started planning everything out and started planning where we wanted Bproud to kind of go. I remember starting off, we didn't know we wanted to start a clothing brand, but we did know we want to bring out something that is meaningful, that's impacting and helping people. We also didn't want to like come out with something that was half-assed or something that was just solely focused on making money. After like we came through that, we kind of started talking, and we realized that okay, we kind of went through the same situation, same scenario, like growing up in the childhood and stuff like that. And then Josephine kind of mentioned about he started a clothing brand. Like when we was talking about, okay, we don't know what we really want to do, because at first we was thinking about starting like a marketing agency or something like that. And then he was like, bro, I have some experience doing a clothing brand. So we was like, okay, let's start a clothing brand, but we didn't know exactly what that clothing brand was going to be or how it was going to look like. We went into like a word generator, and that's where like the first thing kind of started. We literally was like there for 30 minutes, probably even longer, just kind of going through certain stuff. And I remember when we first went across Bproud as like one word, and then we both looked at each other and was like,
well, it was actually two phrases. It was two words. So it was actually the BE and then proud. That was how we saw it. We initially were trying to get like an icon that was like a B and a P. And so like Bproud was going to be the slogan, right? And it wasn't going to be the actual name of the brand. That's what the direction we were headed. And I started designing a logo that was just a B and a P put together, but it just never quite looked right. And we were on a Zoom call for at least like 3-4 hours, just like I was sharing my screen and we were just designing everything together. And I remember we were like, okay, I said, let me see what I could do with like the word and not just like the logo. And so that's when I started playing around with the words Be Proud, got rid of the E, smushed it together, and I created my own like font to like, so it was just different, so it wasn't recognizable by anything else. And that's when we both looked at it and we were like, yo, this is it. But it wasn't the final version though. At that point, it was a lot skinnier. Like the font was a lot skinnier than it was before. The color was a little different, but we both knew that like it was almost there. It was like we're like right there.
We were just missing something, tweak it up. So, yeah.
And I remember we even like almost pushed that logo too. Until like I remember sitting in my room looking at it, and we weren't on the phone call anymore, and I just texted him. I was like, "Bro, this isn't right."
Yeah, I was like, "What you mean?" I was like, "It looks good."
He loved it.
I was like, "It looks good."
This isn't right. And I remember going back and just changing it by myself. I made the font thicker, and then I even changed the color so it was a little bit lighter than it was before, and then that's when we knew this is it. Like it was no debate, no hesitation. Like we knew right off the bat that was what Bproud is.
Yeah, like even just paying attention to those kind of small details is what's been helping us like be successful so far. Just some advice, like a lot of people, like if you're starting out a brand, like a lot of people miss the step of actually sitting there and like planning this stuff out. Like we spent like 6 months of actually planning this out and seeking out advice from like people that's been there, people that are working at Nike, people working at White and Kennedy, like actual people that's been in positions to like making sure that we're going in the right direction. And so like I said, like that's kind of like where Bproud kind of started. Once we came out with the logo, we came out with our mission statement, our vision, and kind of like had a better understanding of like where we wanted to go, we started coming out with designs for our first hoodies and crew necks. And I remember, do you actually want to talk about
Yeah. So we started with 6 samples, and we went to H&M and bought 3 crew necks and three hoodies. And there was these like blank tan hoodies with nothing on them. And I took them to my friend, and he was kind enough to embroider the shirts for us for free. And then we just had like a mini photo shoot with like everything. We just brought our friends together. We just took a bunch of pictures, and we were like, okay, let's push this brand.
Yeah, the main focus with that first one was kind of just telling our story. From the start, like we always wanted to create something that's high value, and so we made sure like we got people that actually like knew how to put together video, and like that video was actually really dope and got a lot of people excited about like what we were doing, what we started. Within our first collection, we mainly focused more on pushing the name out there, like letting people know. Like our biggest thing was, we're still in this phase, like building that brand awareness. Like, so that's kind of what our first collection was based on, was mostly just pushing the message of Be Proud. In our first collection, we had hoodies, we had crew necks as well, and we had them in black and tan in both, right? I think those were the 2 colors that we started with.
Yep.
And so yeah, and then after that first collection, we definitely sold everything. I remember was pushing hoodies in the summer. Like
that was crazy.
That was crazy.
We
like,
were so surprised people buy hoodies in the summer.
And I was like, damn. But a lot of people, when we told this story, like, oh, we love what you guys stand for, what you guys are like trying to do. So like, we were really surprised that people was buying stuff in the summer, like thick ass hoodies, like in the summer. Like,
and the thing is, we have high quality thick hoodies that are really comfortable, and that's another huge part of our thing is like, we chose not to use blank hoodies or just go to the store, like go to wholesale and buy a bunch of like pre-made hoodies and just embroider our logo on it. We actually went out and we did a bunch of research on figuring out what's the most comfortable like loungewear materials for people. And so our hoodies are lined with fleece, and then it has a 96% cotton, 4% spandex on the outside. And that was all intentional. We had it made cut and sew from the bottom up.
We also came out with t-shirts and shorts, which came a little late, which is like one of the big learning thing that we kind of went through, was just like making sure we have enough time to plan everything out, because like going overseas, there's a lot of delays. Basically, once we went through that, we started partnering with Portland State University, and we came out with long sleeves called Be Proud University. And these were, the whole goal behind this collection was to kind of just like create an environment where, like a university where everybody is accepted, and no matter your race, your gender, like whatever it is, like you were accepted in this place. And it was geared more towards college students, and so that was like the whole mission vision around that collection. Both of our favorite things about it was we asked people like the question, I am proud to be, on a glass, and had them like finish that sentence, and like literally that whole thing got filled up with like a bunch of different answers. And like what really surprised us was it was not just like the typical answers that we were looking for, like I'm proud to be African, or I'm proud to be black, or gay. Like those were on there, but like if it was just the small things, like I am proud to be present, I am proud to be here, I am proud to be alive, like I am proud to be a mother. Like those stuff was like stuff that we didn't even think about, that people were like really were going into about.
Yeah, and to even add to that, some of my favorites were, I'm proud to be a first generation student. I'm proud to be nuanced, like just weird little things. I'm proud to, I forgot, there's this really funny one, but overall, we just like, it really opened our eyes to what Be Proud could really mean to people. Because for us, we had this idea that it was like race, gender, ethnicity, sexuality. Those are the main messages we wanted to push, was to be proud of those key things. And then that's what we were pushing until we saw the answers that people were giving. It was like, there's so much to be proud of, right? And then that's when we were like, okay, we can really like touch a lot of people.
Then that, we also came out with another collection of our hoodies. We came out with the green one, a split tone, and a maroon, it was basically like beige, but with the maroon embroidered, Be Proud. And then we also brought back our classic black hoodies. And so yeah, fast forward to where we're at kind of now, like that was kind of like the whole process of like starting Be Proud. And now we honestly just dropped our summer collection, so don't forget to check them out. We have our brand new t-shirts, which has Bproud, and then it has the back of it is everybody's already taken, so be proud of yourself. So that's kind of like the t-shirt for our summer collection. We have this in beige and also in black.
Yeah, he's wearing the black one right here.
Yeah, I'm wearing the black one, and then Josephine can show you the shorts that we came out with.
Yeah, and so our shorts over here on the left. So we have the tan with orange accents on them, and then we have the black shorts with the tan as well, and that's been our signature. So like every single time we have a collection, we always have a black option, and then also like a tan / just a different colored option.
And then we have our first pair of socks as well too that we officially came out with, which honestly might be my favorite stuff that we came out so far. Actually, there's a lot of stuff, but this is up there for sure.
This is up there for sure.